Welcome back for another video. Today, I'm going to be taking on the role of the Browns GM, one of the worst franchises in NFL history. This is a tall task, my friends, especially with where they have been and what they did and everything they gave up to get Deshaun Watson. I only do a 2-round mock draft. In the Browns, because of the Deshaun Watson trade and because of trading for Elijah Mitchell, they don't have draft capital for me to go on picks. Okay, their first draft pick in 2023 is going to be the number 74 overall pick in the third round. Okay. And this team has a lot to do. They lost 19 free agents, a lot of which are notable names. Okay. Listen to this. They have Jesse James, Chris Hubbard, Ronnie Harrison, Kareem Hunt, Jacoby Brissett, Deion Jones, Anthony Walker, who did get re-signed, Jadeveon Clowney, Chase Winovich, and Greedy Williams. That is a lot of guys to be losing, a lot of notable names to be losing in free agency. That's a lot of talent walking out the door on you in free agency, right? So they have a lot of this. Almost feels, you almost can't say a rebuild because they have the quarterback already, right? That you have that piece, but they have a lot to do to be able to rebuild around the quarterback, right? But I think the trade for Elijah Moore made a lot of sense. It's something they need to do. You obviously have to get your quarterback weapons to throw to. But looking at what else the Browns have done here in free agency up to this point, Dalvin Tomlinson was with the Vikings last year, defensive tackle, very good defensive tackle, and was unfortunately on a bad defense in 2022, but coming to the Browns on a 4-year deal, $57 million, 27 and a half of that being guaranteed. That is a huge deal for an interior defensive lineman, but he deserves it. He's an impact player. Putting him in on a defensive line with Myles Garrett, that is exactly what the Browns need to do right there. Building in the trenches, building around Myles Garrett on the trenches, and they continue to do so as they bring in a defensive end from the Texans, right? But they bring him in on a 3-year deal, $19 million, 12.49 guaranteed. This isn't some huge name, but this is a guy coming in that, as you lose Jadeveon Clowney, you bring in somebody younger, somebody that can fill that role for you, somebody to fill in depth on your defensive line, which again is exactly what you need to do if you're going to get to the quarterback. And looking in their division, it's unclear whether Lamar's going to still be there or not, but you have Kenny Pickett there. You have Joe Burrow there. You got to get to the quarterback. You have to help Myles Garrett get to the quarterback. And when you bring other guys in, that'll create opportunities for everybody, not just Myles Garrett. So I think what they've done there is good. I think bringing in a couple of linebackers, you're re-signing Anthony Walker. That's good. You're bringing in or re-signing another one of your linebackers, another name that I honestly couldn't even try to pronounce, but he's coming back on a 1-year deal. But I think as an underrated signing, a guy that didn't really get a whole lot of shine while he was with the Chiefs, but a very, very good player and a great piece to bring in is the safety coming from the Chiefs, Juan Thornhill, on a 3-year deal, $21 million, 8.5 guaranteed. I think that's a good deal for the Browns. Juan Thornhill is a very good player, so I think that's a good piece to bring in for that defense that underperformed last season. Bringing in a tight end, Jordan Atkins, from the Texans on a 2-year deal, pretty cheap, just under $4 million for him. Marquise Goodwin, a receiver, kind of journeyman receiver, but a guy that if you need him, he can slot in for you and be productive. So what they're doing so far, is kind of what you would have expected of them. But again, they don't have a whole lot of options. They're basically only rebuilding through free agency, and the cap room that they have right now is only $9.95 million. So not a whole lot they can do. They put themselves in a bad situation for this offseason as a GM. This kind of worst case scenario. You know what I mean? You don't want to have not a lot to do as an NFL GM. You want to be able to have options, and the Browns just don't have it this offseason. So it's a tall task. I don't expect the Browns to really be a whole lot more competitive this year than they were last year, which is a pretty bad feeling. I wonder how the actual Browns front office is feeling about what they have going on. What do you think the Browns should do this offseason? Do you think they should trade anybody away to try to get draft picks for this draft? What do you think they should do? You let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to come back every day for more off-season content, and we'll see you for the next one.